Chapter 5. Theodore Boone, Kid Lawyer. Judge Henry Gantry tugged on the right sleeve of his long black robe to adjust it properly, then stepped through the massive oak door behind the bench of his courtroom. A bailiff suddenly yelled, "All rise for the court!" Everyone, spectators, jurors, lawyers, clerks, all the participants bolted to their feet in one scramble.
Hear ye, hear ye, the criminal court of the 10th District is now in session, the Honorable Henry Gantry presiding. Let all who had matters come forth. May God bless this court.
Please be seated. Well, we certainly have a lot of interest today. The matter at hand is the state versus Mr. Peter Duffy. Is the state ready to proceed?
Your Honor, the state is ready.
Is the defense ready to proceed?
We are ready, Your Honor.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you were selected last week, and when you left I gave you instructions not to discuss this case with anyone. I warned you that if anyone tried to approach you and discuss the case, then you were to notify me. I now ask if that has happened. Any contact from anyone about this case? No. Good. At this stage of the trial, both sides will have the opportunity to make what we refer to as opening statements. An opening statement is not proof, not evidence. Just a summary of each side's version of what happened. Since the state has the burden of proving guilt, the state will always go first. Mr. Hogan, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
You may proceed.
Good morning. Myra Duffy was only 46 years old when she was murdered. The mother of two sons, Will and Clark, both college students. Mrs. Duffy was found in the living room. The front door was unlocked and open. Someone took her jewelry and 3 handguns, with a total value of $30,000. Cause of death, strangulation. On the day she was murdered, she had a luncheon date with her sister at noon. She was ready to leave the house when she was attacked and killed. An autopsy revealed the true cause of death, strangulation. The person grabbed her from behind and pressed firmly on her carotid artery, on the right side of her neck. 10 seconds of firm pressure in just the right place and you lose consciousness. Once she passed out, her killer kept pressing, and 60 seconds later she was dead. No signs of a struggle, no broken fingernails, no scratches, nothing. Why? Because Mrs. Duffy knew the man who killed her. She knew him because she was married to him. Mr. Holden laid out photos of the entire scene on the projector. The homes in Waverly Creek had heavy gates, a guardhouse, security cameras. An intruder would not likely get in. Mr. Duffy golfed that day and was likely at the 4th or 5th hole at the time of the murder, only 8 minutes away by golf cart, which he easily could have driven. Mr. Duffy planned it well. Why would Mr. Duffy kill his wife? Money, ladies and gentlemen. This is a life insurance policy for $1 million purchased by Mr. Duffy 2 years ago. Mr. Duffy was a real estate developer who had scored big, lost big, and at the time of his wife's death, was being squeezed by the banks. Mr. Duffy was on the verge of going broke. The Duffy marriage was an unhappy one. They had problems, had separated twice, and on the verge of a divorce. Also, he used to play golf with friends, but as of 2 years ago, always played alone. He planned this for 2 years, playing his game around his wife's schedule, just waiting.
Let's take a 10-minute recess.
This is much better than television.
All right. You've heard only one side of the case. Just for fun, how many think he is guilty? What about the presumption of innocence?
He's guilty.
There's no way he's getting off.
He planned it perfectly.
He did it.
Okay. We're going to have this same conversation during the lunch break, after you've heard the other side.
Not a shred of evidence. Not a shred of evidence. Nothing. No witnesses. No crime scene proof. Nothing but this clean, neat, tidy little story Mr. Hogarth has just shared with you. Not one word of which is evidence. Just his fancy version of what maybe could have happened. Maybe Pete Duffy wanted to kill his wife. Maybe he carefully planned it all. Maybe he raced around an empty golf course. Maybe he arrived at his home just in time to pull off one of the cleanest killings in history. Then, maybe he stole some things. Maybe he left the front door open, raced back to the fifth tee, and resumed his game. Maybe that's what happened. Mr. Hogarth is asking you to play the maybe game. And he wants you to play along because he has no proof. Our Constitution, our laws, our rules of procedure, they're built on the fairness. There is no room for a bunch of maybes. Our laws are clear. When you're accused of a crime, all the investigators, police, experts, prosecutors, crime scene analysts, all must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did, in fact, commit the crime. Beyond a reasonable doubt. Beyond a reasonable doubt. Now the law says that Pete Duffy does not have to testify, does not have to call witnesses, does not have to prove anything. Why? He is protected by one of our most cherished safeguards. It's called the presumption of innocence. While he golfed, a thief, who's still at large and will probably remain so at the rate we're going, entered the house. The thief encountered Mrs. Duffy, attacked her with his hands because he had no weapon, and at that point became a murderer. And he's still out there. There was also a life insurance policy on Mr. Duffy. They did what most married couples do. And business was not as bad as Mr. Hogarth claimed.
So far, the students in Mr. Mount's class had been riveted by the opening statements. Not surprisingly, Theo was more engaged than the others. He was exactly where he wanted to be when Mr. Nance Judge Gantry called for an early lunch recess. Chapter 5.